workout recommendations, blocks, you got them. We'll be moving our spines today, which we do all the time, but especially today. And I'll invite you to sit like this on one or two blocks. This is lately my favorite way to sit, with the left leg down and then the right leg up. So the right leg is kind of in a squat pose, and then the left leg can be in like a virasana leg or a sukhasana leg, whatever is the most comfortable. If you don't like sitting like this though, it's fine to sit cross-legged instead. Yeah. Yeah. And then we'll explore some spinal movement possibilities. So one of them is looks like our cat-cow, flexion and extension. Just take that a few times. And I like the asymmetrical leg position. It just feels different in the body when we take these movements. So let's keep going, but let the arms not touch the legs, and you'll get a different experience. Yeah? Okay. And then let's pause, coming back to center. Take a side bend over to the right. And then let's go over to the left. And then just go on your own a couple of times back and forth. And you can explore, you can try different arm choices. A hand to the hip, a hand to the floor, even elbow. And if you want to try the no hands, the hands free, kind of like we did on the first one. Good. And then let's come back to center and just take a rotation towards the right. And then we'll go towards the left. And you guessed it, we'll go back and forth. And here too, try anything at all with the arms. So you could do little wide arms, you could keep them touching the body, not touching the body. Yeah. Great. And now just keep going along, but use any sort of combination. So maybe there's a twist with a forward bend or a side bend. Yeah, maybe reach a little forward, a little back. And how often do we move our spines like this? Like not that often, yeah. Or then find a position, just land, and then pretend you're a cat waking up for a nap, and you know how they find this big full body stretch, yeah. And then let's change your position, do something on the other side, kind of like that. Oh, yes. And do it one more time. Let's do one more on each side. Yeah, our big cat yawns. Oh, okay. And then let's settle. If you enjoy this seat, stay. If you'd rather come out, take something else. And then let's just be still for a moment. So maybe the eyes close, maybe they stay open, but see if you can relax your face. And start to come into such a place where your body and your mind are in the same place. Right here, right now. And from here, let the pelvis stay kind of as an anchor. And then imagine your spine were a big piece of seaweed. And allow just a little bit of movement here as if you're being moved through the current. Yeah, you can start to blink the eyes open. So throughout our class today, we'll be doing all of those spinal movements that we did a moment ago, as well as this little seaweed. We'll call it seaweed asana. And then let's pause. And we'll change our seat. So we'll bend the left leg up, the right leg down, and again, you can adjust it how you need to. And then we'll go for our flexion extension. So this one's just like cat cow. Yeah. And then feel free to Do something different with the arms. Yeah. Good, and then let's pause here. Take a side bend to the left. And then we'll come up over to the right. And then go back and forth here. And feel free to make it a little different each time. You can do different arm choices. Yeah. And then the next time we come back through center, let's pause. Doesn't feel good just to stop, does it? And let's rotate towards the left. Great, and then we'll undo and rotate towards the right. And here too, back and forth we go with any arm possibilities that you can think of. Yeah. And then let's add in some of the other movements with any combination of our side bend, forward or back bend, and our twists. All right, yogis, let's pause in a position and then find that cat yawn. Oh. And then change, do something on the other side. Oh. I can't do it and be quiet. If you need to make some noise, you can. Oh. Good, 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 good. All right, and then let's pause. Just let the arms rest and come into that little seaweed asana. Oh, how nice. The perfect song came on for this, didn't it?
I was wondering if this was your
It's not mine.
Oh,
nice. Somebody thought of us. All right.
Good seaweed music.
It's good seaweed. It feels like we're just underwater floating along. I don't think you guys at home can hear it. It's pretty quiet. All right, let's pause. Let's release the legs and just stretch them out in front. Yeah. And take a moment just for anything. Feet, ankles, toes, wiggles. Yeah. Okay. And then we'll continue moving through our spines here. Let's turn over onto all fours. Feel free to have any padding under the knees if you like that. All right. And then once you're in position here, just let your weight transfer between the hands and see how it's kind of a version of that seaweed again. So we've got our little side to side. And if it feels good to make it a little bigger, you can do that. If you want to keep it teeny tiny, you can do that. Yeah. Now let's keep our side to side going and just a little bit gradually start to go back. It's kind of like on the way to child's pose, but we won't go back that far. And then little by little start to come a little bit forward. Yeah. So the whole time we've got this seaweed action going on. And then the next time we go back, let's go all the way back to child's pose. And it's fine if you need to widen the knees a little bit. And then once you're in position, let the seaweed go again, but see if you can initiate from lower down, or in the pelvis. Yeah. Great. And then from here, the movement quiet down. Let's reset, coming back to all fours position. And if the knees went wide, you can bring them back underneath you. Let's let the ribs go over to the right and the head and tail go to the left. So it's a side bend. And then we do the opposite. So the ribs go left, head and tail goes right. Take that a few more times, one side and the other side. Yeah. And then from here, next time we go right, we'll stay. Round the back, coming through your cat pose. Go over to the left for a side bend and then down into cow. So it's making a circle. And continue that direction a few more times, and it might feel good to bend and straighten the elbows as you're going along. The head and the neck might want to be involved, and they might not. If you want to keep the head kind of quiet, that's fine. And then see if you can change the direction that you're going. Just a few more of these. Great. And then from here, friends, let's pause and we'll head back into another child's pose. This time, once you get there, let's take the hands up onto your fingertips, the spider fingers. Give the mat a bit of a scrunch as you lift up through the palms of the hands. And then we'll keep the spider fingers as you walk the arms a little bit over to the right for a side bend, and we'll just hold this one. Good. And then over we go to the left. Great. And then from here, let's return to center. All fours position, and this will be a twist, and we'll initiate it. You'll see it's kind of high up in the upper back, so we'll breathe in. On the exhale, bend the right elbow, let the head turn left, but we'll keep the left arm pretty straight. And then as we inhale, we'll return to center. The exhale, we bend and turn, other side. And the inhale, we're in center. So continue that a few more times, and it's not necessary for the bending elbow to touch the floor. Depends how long your arms are and how much your spine can rotate. Good. All right, and then the next time we return to center, let's pause. Start to move through your cat-cow here. Inhaling and exhaling. And as you're going along, notice if there's one part of the spine that seems to be initiating the movement, or is it coming kind of from everything at once? Yeah. And now think of the place that's right in between your shoulder blades and see if you can initiate the movement from here, going both into cow and into cat, and see if that changes your experience. Great. So we're going to change this up a little bit. Next time we round, go back about halfway to child's pose. Stay around as we come forward until you can't anymore, and then the spine will extend, the chest will lift, and then we round and should go back about halfway to child's pose. So let's take that for a few more rounds. We'll use the inhale to come forward, little lift at the end, and the exhale to come back. Yeah, see if you can take the whole amount of your breath to complete the movement. Great. And then from here, friends, the next time we come forward, let's come all the way down to the belly, or if you're not going to the belly, you can go to child's pose instead. Wherever you are, we'll have the elbows and forearms on the floor, so it's kind of a sphinx position. If you're on the belly, elbows can be a little ahead of the shoulders or right under if that's more comfortable. So let yourself just drop down for a second, and let's take that little seaweed action and let it be more on the shoulders and the upper part of the spine. Yeah. And then we'll let the movement settle down. Don't go anywhere here, but try to drag the arms back. As you broaden the collarbones, we lengthen and lift, little baby Sphinx Cobra, and then bring yourself back down. Take that a few more times. So the inhale, we lengthen to lift, and the exhale, we release. Yeah, find this little pull back action with the arms every time you come up. Good. And then the next time you come down, let's reset the hands so that we can head into our downward facing dog pose. Take your time to get there, and as you do arrive, it'll likely feel good to move the legs a little bit, especially if it's been a long time since your last down dog. So let's take a little bit of movement here. And notice if you are moving the legs, you're probably also moving the spine. Good, good, good. Let's pause here. We'll do more down dogs later on. Separate your feet pretty wide and bend your knees. Let's start to crawl the arms back to the legs and prop yourself up so the forearms are right on the thighs. And let's take the seaweed spine. Back and forth we go. Notice how the weight shifts in your feet. And notice if there's any one spot that's initiating the movement. And no need to change that. Just notice what it is. Good. And then let's pause when your weight is even between the two sides. Shift your weight into the heels. And let's use the inhale to lift. Up come the arms. Lengthen the legs. Exhale the arms down alongside you. We'll stay right at the back of the mat. Keep this kind of wide stance, little bend in the knees. Backs of the wrists touch, upper back round. And then as we inhale, turn the palms up, lengthen and lift. So exhale, we take this kind of little dive. And inhale, we come up. Great. So the spine is doing a little bit similar to what we were doing in our cat-cow, in that forward back movement. Yeah, take that a couple more times. And then we're going to change it here. So on the next round, when we inhale, let's go out and then up. Arms lift overhead. Exhale, we'll take it down, forward fold, bend the knees here. You can stay wide. Inhale, halfway lift, chest moves forward. Exhale takes us down, bend the knees. Inhale, all the way out and up, come the arms, we lift. Exhale takes us down, bend the knees for this one. Inhale to re-lengthen the legs and the spine both. And then come down, bend the knees. Press into your heels, inhale to rise again. This one will be different. Exhale, down we go, forward fold. Halfway up. And then from here, friends, we'll head into plank pose. Let's actually take this one on the knees. So once you walk the arms forward, lower the knees down. Broaden the collarbones. Lift a little through the abdomen. And then just like we did in all fours earlier, can you shift your weight between the two hands and let there be a little seaweed action here in this plank pose. It's good core work, isn't it? Yeah. Great. And then from here, friends, let's come all the way down to the belly, or of course you can do child's pose instead. We'll take the arms back alongside you for this one. Lift the front of the shoulders away from the floor so the collarbones broaden. And then on the inhale, lift the arms, maybe lift the legs too. Exhale takes us down. Do that a few more times. Inhale, we lengthen to lift. Exhale takes us down. One more time, up and down. Good. And then let's meet in the up position. Rearrange your hands so that you can set up for down dog. Go ahead and get there. And then within the down dog here, let's everybody bend the knees for a moment and keep them pretty bent. Try to press the mat down and forward with the hands so the hips drop back and up and the spine gets a little more length. And as you re-straighten the legs, let's press a little wider through the upper thighs and keep that happening as the legs start to go straighter without rounding through the back. If you start to round the back here, just keep the knees a little bit bent. Yeah. Good, good. And then from here, friends, you choose. Either walk feet to the hands or hands to the feet or both. Shift your weight into the heels. Use the inhale to come up, arms lift, legs lengthen. Exhale, arms release. Yeah, okay. So let's stand at the feet just a bit wider than you normally stand. If you want to go really wide, that's fine too. Slight little bend in the knees. And then we'll start with the right shoulder. It'll come forward, up, back, and down. And then the left shoulder forward, up, back, and down. Now, as you're doing this, you'll notice it's not just the shoulder, is it? It's the spine, yeah? So you get a little rotation. The knees can kind of bend and straighten, come along for the ride, and you can gradually let the arms start to become a little bit bigger, taking up a little bit more space. Yeah. Good, 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 good. I've been doing stuff like this in all my classes lately. Maybe I'm just emulating with the little one in there. She's doing something like that. And then let the movement gradually start to be smaller and smaller and smaller until we're back in the center. Yeah, okay. And then let's head to the front of the mat here. Blocks maybe for lunges and a blanket if you need it for the back knee for padding. Yeah. All right. So we're going to do another round of this one, that we did before. Feet can stay wide or you can come hips width distance if that's preferable. So we'll bend the knees, shift the hips back, let the back round a little, backs of the wrist touch. Inhale, we open and lift. Exhale, we find that little dive. Take that a couple more times. You go as big or as small as you like, your choice. Good, and the next time we come out and up. Forward fold, Uttanasana. Let's come up halfway, lengthen. And then lower yourself down. Let's step the right leg back, knee down to the floor. And we will be in this position for a little bit, so make sure that it's comfortable for you. At first, this movement will just be in the spine, mostly the upper spine. So as we inhale, move the chest forward, broaden the collarbones, and find that little lift. On the exhale, just back off a little bit, but don't go into a big rounded shape. Do that a few times. So the inhale, we lengthen and lift, and then we back it off, If you need to go higher, if that would give you more space, do it. Good. All right. And then let's pause here the next time we're in the forward position. On the inhale, out and up come the arms, torso lifts. And then on the exhale, let the arms come down, backs of the wrists touch, upper back rounds. So a few of these, inhale, let's go out to the side. And then exhale, backs of the wrists touch, So it's just like what we were doing a second ago standing, but it's a little bit smaller now that your back knee is down. Good. All right, friends. Next time arms go out, let's go up, stay. Use left hand to grasp the right forearm. We'll pull up and over to the left for a little side bend. Stay here and lift up through the lower abdomen. And then we'll go to the other side. So pull yourself up and now over, side bending to the right. Good. And then let's come to the center under the hands. Inhale to lengthen, arms up. Exhale, just a little turn to the left, arms can separate. Inhale to the center, arms up. Exhale, just a little turn to the right, arms separate. Take that a few times. And let the rotation mostly be higher up in the spine. So we're not trying to twist through the abdomen or the pelvis here. Good. All right, friends, next time arms are up, let's meet there. Come down, hands to the floor of the blocks. Tuck the back toes under, lift the back knee. And then from here on the inhale, like we did last time, move the chest forward, find the leg. And then on the exhale, bend the back knee and straighten out the front. Do that a few times. Inhale, we bend the front knee, move the chest forward. Exhale, go the other direction. So take that just a few more times. Let it be as much about the spine as it is about the legs. Great. Next time in the forward position, we'll stay and rearrange. We're heading to plank pose. You could do straight leg plank, knee down plank, or all fours, whichever of those work for you. Broaden the collarbones, lift through the abdomen, and then let's find that seaweed spine. So shifting your weight between the hands as we take a little side to side. All right. And then from here, we'll come all the way down to the belly again. You'll keep the hands in the cobra position, and I'm going to do this one kneeling. So the palms of the hands are on the floor. You might slide them back a little so they're right about at the lower ribs. Lift the front of the shoulders away from the floor. And as you inhale, try to drag the arms back. Move the chest forward, maybe come up a little higher. And then on the exhale, back it off. Do that a few times. Find that little pull back idea with the arms. Lengthen to lift. And then come down. Good. Couple more times. And if anybody wants to start to go straighter in the arms, you can. Not necessary. Good. And then when you've had enough of this, let's meet back again in downward facing dog pose. Adho Mukha Svanasana. And while we're in down dog, just come into a comfortable stance and soften the knees a little bit. Let's do the seaweed spine here in down dog. Yeah, it's a little different. Good. And then we'll start to bring the feet forward towards the hands. Once you get there, bend the knees. Hands slide up to the shins or to the thighs if you need to go higher. Inhale to lengthen the legs, lengthen the spine, move the chest forward. Exhale to bend the knees, let yourself come down. Take that a few times. So we lengthen to lift, and then we let it go. Gorgeous. Alrighty, friends, this will be our last one. We lengthen to lift. On the way down, the left leg will step back, knee to the floor, blocks if you need them. That's it. And then from here, inhale, we lengthen, find the lift, kind of like what we just did. And then on the exhale, back it off. Do that a few times, and this one's mostly about the spine, yeah? Especially the upper part of the spine. Good. And then next time we're in the forward position, let's stay. Use the next inhale to take the arms out and up, torso lifts. And then on the exhale, back so the wrists touch, let the upper back round. So inhale, we open, and exhale, we close. Take that a few times, and again, it'll be a little bit smaller of a movement than it was when you were standing. Great. Let's go last round here. And then we'll meet with the arms up. Side bend to the right, and we'll just stay in the position. Create a little lift through the lower abdomen. You got it, friends. And come to the center, side bend to the left. Cool. And then we come to center, separate the hands. Inhale at the top. Exhale, it's a rotation to the right, arms separate. Inhale, we come up. And exhale, it's a rotation to the left, but it's very small. So take that a couple more times, yeah? It's balance, for sure. Especially when we go to the left. Yeah, don't go too far. Great. Let's pause at the top. Release the arms down. Tuck the back toes under if they're not already, and lift through the knee. Let's draw the chest forward, lengthen. Inhale. On the exhale, bend the back knee, straighten out the front leg. Take that a few times. Inhale, we shift forward, lift. And exhale, we shift back. Yeah, a couple more times here. Let it be as much about the spine as it is about the legs. Great. All right, next time we're forward, let's pause. Move the blocks, plank to child's pose, but we're not gonna stay. All right. And then from your child's pose, we'll come up a little bit, lift the hips a bit. Take the hands off of the mat onto spider fingers, elbows bent. Yeah, so the butt is kind of up in the air. Let yourself sink down a little, and then you'll come up and create that seaweed idea. And this one's more in the shoulders. Yeah, you can keep the seaweed on the way up, or it might feel better just to come up straight through the middle. And we'll go up and down with this a couple of times. Later on, some of you will do this belly down, and some of you will do it again in child's pose. So just know that's coming. You can experiment too with the speed and the size. All right. Let's pause here, coming down. Reset the hands, turn the palms to face up, and just bend at the fingers. Curl the fingers in a little bit. Yeah. All right, so let's head again into down dog, and we'll just use that as a transition to come back up again. So down dog, into standing forward fold, into upright mountain pose, and down with the birds. All right, you guys, it's just hard to stand still, isn't it, after all this seaweed action? All right, so let's stand again with the feet either medium wide or you could go wider than that if that's comfortable. Slight little bend in the knees. And now the left shoulder, let's roll it up, forward, and down, and let the torso come with, and then the right side. So do that a few times. Let's go the other direction than we were before. And here too, you can start to make it a bigger movement. Maybe lift one heel and the other, let the arms become involved. Good. I know it doesn't feel good to stop abruptly, so let it just kind of settle. We'll do another movement. And now I'll mirror you guys. Let's take the right arm and do kind of a sweep across and uplift the right heel, look up. And then we take it down, change sides, we sweep across and uplift the left heel. Go one more time, but this time look down. And then other side. Yeah. Great. And then we're down and just return back to center here. I think we have to do a loop because we haven't yet. Great, go the other direction. Good. Anybody else like sweating bullets? Great.
I'm rethinking the class that I have planned for tomorrow night.
Let the movement settle. Let's come to the front of the mat here. All right, and again, if you want blocks, we'll do briefly lunge, but we'll take it into some other things, and we'll keep the back knee up for the next round. Yeah, so find your comfortable distance, and let's take another round of these. So we bend the knees, find that little dive, and then inhale, we open, and exhale, we close. Great, let the movement travel through the whole entire spine. Nice. Next time, let's come out and up, and then forward fold, Uttanasana. Halfway up, we lengthen. Lower yourself down. Let's take the right leg back into lunge and pause. Lengthen the spine. Spin the back heel down to the floor. Let's come up to warrior two. And then this next movement, it's kind of some side bends. We'll go slow motion. Straighten the front leg. Take the back arm and push it kind of forward and take the front arm overhead. Yeah, and then we'll change. Rebend the front knee. Right arm comes overhead, left arm pushes towards the back. So we come up, right arm pushes forward, left arm pushes back overhead. And then we come forward, right arm is overhead, left arm pushes back. Do that a few times. Yeah, and if it's something other than what I just said, that's fine. Good. All right, yogis. Let's pause next time we're in the up position. And then redo. So the back hand to the hip, bend the front knee, come forward and down with the forearm on the thigh. So side angle variation. Press down into the back heel. Let the chest turn a little towards the floor and let the right arm just kind of be alongside you, but not doing anything special. And then the torso turns towards the ceiling and the shoulder and arm kind of come with. And we turn a little towards the floor, and we turn a little towards the ceiling. Yes, it's a rotation. Do that a couple of times. Good. Next time we're in the turn towards the ceiling position. Pause. Take the back arm, that's the right arm back, and do a little slice down towards the floor and then out alongside the head. Press down again into the back leg heel, and can you rotate the chest again towards the ceiling? Yeah, keep the back leg grounded and rooted. And now on the inhale, straighten the front leg, bring yourself up, lift the front arm. That's the left arm. Sorry about my right to left. Take the back hand and the back hip. Come forward a little bit, bend the front knee slightly. Yeah? Now as we straighten the front leg, dig the heel down into the floor and forward as you draw back through the left hip crease. And then down we come, hand to the floor, to the block, to your shin, to your thigh, wherever you are is fine. Let's keep the right hand to the hip. Like we did in the other pose, let the chest turn a little towards the floor, and then turn the chest towards the ceiling. Good. Let's just do that 2 more times. So chest towards the floor, chest towards the ceiling. Leave the pelvis alone. And then last time, chest towards the ceiling. If you want to lift the right arm, great. If you'd rather keep it on the hip, that's fine. Trikonasana, stay grounded and rooted through the back leg heel. Good. Now, without going into a deeper side bend, take the top arm, reach it overhead towards the front of the room, and elongate the right side without bending over or collapsing. Yeah. Good. Let's look down at the floor. Release the arm, bend the front knee, spin the back heel up, lunge pose. And then from here, let's head into our plank to the belly or plank to child's pose. You decide. Yeah. Stay there for a second. If you're on the belly, you can lengthen the legs back and down just one at a time. Give yourself some space. And then for everybody, let's take the hands off of the mat onto your spider fingers. We'll peel up through the center as far as you choose. And then on the way down, let's add in that little side-to-side seaweed glide. Do that a few times. So we come up through the center and then glide on the way down. Now for me, it doesn't, on the belly at least, it doesn't feel good to do the glide on the way up. If you want to try it, feel free. If you'd rather stay in the center on the way up, do that instead. Good. Next time we come down, we'll stay. Yeah. Rest the forehead on the stacked hands. And then if you've been in child's pose, if you don't like going onto the belly, you can come onto your side. We're going to do a little quad stretch here. So, when you're ready, we'll undo the arms. You'll bend the right knee and hold on to the foot or to the ankle. Good. See if you can lift up a little through the low abdomen. That's it. And then we'll release and change sides. Left knee, bend, and find the foot, whatever's back there. Yeah, good. And then release that. We'll stay on the belly, and now just wiggle the pelvis a little side to side. And it's kind of yet another version of that seaweed here. Good. All right. And then let's regroup here. We'll come back through downward dog, and then from there up to stand. Yeah. This transition is light. Good. Yeah, just take a second. We'll get to the other side momentarily.
Oh, we do have a second side.
We do have a second side. We do. And then there's still some other poses in Iron Mice. Thank you. So remember those cat yawns we were doing? We're going to do that again in the standing position. So let's have the feet at least a bit wider than you normally stand. And again, if you want to go further than that, you can. Soften the knees a little bit. Let yourself just curl in. And then as you re-expand, turn open to the right and create that big cat yawn. Oh, yeah. And then we come back into the center. And think of expanding almost in slow motion here. Oh, gorgeous. Come back to center. Let's do one more on each side and maybe make it a little different this time. Good. And then you return to center. Okay. All right. So whatever props you had for side one, you can arrange that for side two. Feet just right underneath you or wider if you prefer. Knees bend, backs of the wrists touch. Inhale, we grow, we lift, we open. Exhale, we come back in. Couple more times. That's it. And then on this next round, when we go out, be sure that you also go up. And then down we go, Uttanasana. Halfway up, lengthen. Lower down, left leg reaches back, lunge pose. Take a second to get there. Lengthen the spine long. And then the back heel turns to the floor. We enter into our warrior two. And then in this position, the back arm, that's the left arm, will push forward. The right arm comes overhead and will go straighter in the front leg. And then we'll rebend, change the arms. Do that a few times. So we come up, we come down. Yeah, stay anchored through the back heel the whole time. Good. Next time we're in the up position, pause. Readjust, back hand to the back hip. Bend the front knee, come forward, and then take the forearm to the thigh. Yeah, keep the back heel anchored down. Let the left arm just come alongside you and let the chest turn a little towards the floor. And then the chest turns towards the ceiling and the arm and shoulder just kind of come with. Do that a few times more. It's maybe like a little massage around the shoulder blade. Good, good. Next time we're in the chest towards the ceiling position, pause there. Anchor the back heel. I know I keep saying it, but keep doing it. Take the left arm and do this little slice down and out, so you're on the diagonal. And one more time, rotate away from the floor. Good. Press into both legs and the heels. Come up to straighten the front leg, lift the right arm. And then let's come forward but not down. Back hand comes to the hip. Lengthen, lengthen. As we re-straighten the leg, push the heel forward and the hip crease back. And then down we come, hand to the block, to your shin, to your thigh, wherever you are. Keep the hand to the hip for a second. Let the chest turn a little towards the floor. And then we'll turn again towards the ceiling. Do that 2 more times. A little towards the floor, a little towards the ceiling. And then on this last one, we'll stay. Feel free to lift the arm if you wish. Stay anchored through the back heel. And then option to take the top arm overhead, but don't change the position of the spine. Good. Let's look down. Bend the front knee. Release the left arm, spin the back heel up. And then we're heading into plank pose. From there, let's do this. We did this earlier. Knees come down, round the back, lift, and go back about halfway to child's pose. And then round on the way forward until you can't anymore. The spine extends at the very end. Yeah, so the exhale is an up and back. And the inhale is a forward. Now you can keep doing this with the knee down, or next time, come back into down dog with the knees lifted, and then instead of coming forward into the other one, you'll come forward into plank pose. Yeah, so options. Keep the knees down, you can have the knees lifted. If you wanted to do something else entirely, cat-cow, it's kind of similar. Yes. Good. All right, this will be our last one. If you're doing something else, let's meet in down dog so that we can come back up. And then we'll have the hands and the feet come towards each other any way you want to do that. Bend through the knees, press in your heels. Use the inhale to come up. And the exhale, set the arms down. Ooh, yogis. All right. Yeah, you're doing well. Doing well. Let's do a balanced pose. This one will be fun. I mean, it's all fun. And then we'll take it down. Yeah. So I think you are familiar with wiggly tree asana. You could call it CV tree tonight. So the left leg will be the base. Just watch first. The right leg comes up, and instead of classic tree pose, we'll be moving around. Yeah.
That should work well for me.
You can do this all the time. All right. So
I do that already pretty good.
Awesome. Left leg is down, right leg is up. My very first yoga class, I taught this and I kicked the plant, and then the dirt went all over the floor. It was so funny. In this class, it wasn't here, it was somewhere else, but it was this close. Yeah. Now, you still have to stay on one leg. And then you're going to hold position, but don't hold your breath. The more awkward, the better. Make a funny face. And then one more round on the same leg, Yeah. And then you'll just nice and easy set the foot down, 2 feet on the floor. Hop. Yeah. You're so funny. Let's do the other side. Right leg is down, left leg comes up. And then away we go. Oh, yeah. And during Halloween, it's the haunted tree, so, we can change the names of things. We're gonna freeze. Don't hold your breath, though, while you're frozen. But if you want to make a funny face, you can. Sarah,
Is there any choice?
And then go again. And then we will ease our way out of it. 2 feet on the floor, just carefully plant them down.
Was that graceful? No.
Okay. Yay. We made it this far. Let's celebrate with some hula hoops. Just easy. Yeah. Go the other direction. Have you done that one with me?
No, that's the first.
Oh. Yeah, that was like my signature move for a while. I haven't done it in a while. Have you done
Go
it?
around so much as it is. I was like, oh,
You did that anyway, yeah.
No.
Have you done it
Huh?
Have you done it
Oh, yes.
obstacle
We did.
course.
Yes, we did
Yeah.
that.
Oh, we'll have to do that soon. Let's come down and have a seat.
It is crocodile season.
It is, isn't it? I'll recommend cross-legged. Now, if you need to elevate, you can sit on a blanket or 2 or 6 or whatever. Yeah. And then from your position, I'll be kind of specific. Try to cross at the shins instead of like at the ankles. And you might need to scooch the shins a little forward. I think I've got the hiccups. All right. And maybe, I don't know if this will help. We're going to make some circles. Go the other direction. Okay. And then just gradually let the circles settle down. This one too, you don't want to just stop really quickly. Place the hands either on your blankets if you're on them or on the floor, fingertips, and then press down to lift up. And then press back to hinge forward. Yeah? And then we'll back off. Go again. Yeah, so it's a little bit similar, that same kind of forward back spinal undulation here. And for anybody if taking the arms forward is a good idea, you can, or you could grab a block. You could be on the fingertips. Yeah, and then once you're in a spot that you enjoy, it might feel nice to change the movement into that side to side again, seaweed. If you prefer the forward back, that's fine. If you prefer more stillness, that's fine too. We'll have to tell him on the way out. He picked the best music.
Does he not? Do they not usually?
Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't.
Oh,
Yeah. Let's come back to
So
sisters.
I teach on Thursday nights now, and one Shavasana, we've got the scorpion.
Well, I mean, that's a part of meditation. It's just being able
It's to be okay with it.
Yeah,
Yeah. Let's change legs.
Yeah, and for some people, that might be the perfect Shavasana.
It might be, but for some people it wouldn't be. Let's take our circles.
Just cracked me up. But last week during Shavasana, all of a sudden this giant ladder hits the wall right out there.
Gosh.
And then some guy starts walking up, and I have no idea if he's gonna land on the patio.
He could, go the other direction.
Right in, and I'm like, okay, everybody, out of Shavasana.
All right, let the movement gradually settle down. And then on your fingertips, either on the blankets or on the floor, press down to lift up. And then press back to hinge forward. Do that a few more times. Yeah. Good. And then if it's appropriate, if the arms want to come forward, you can, or on blocks, you can. And then once you find a spot that's comfortable for you, if it would feel good to do the side to side, you could. If you'd rather do something else, you could. Yeah. Think about some freedom through the spine and let it move the way it wants to. Good. And then if you did come forward, let's gradually come back up again. And we'll stretch the legs out. And we'll take a little Bhavasana. All right, let's come down onto your back. We'll do a few windshield wipers with the cat yawn in there. Lately, that's been one of my favorite things. And yeah. So keep the knees bent, feet wide, arms. I'll suggest arms up by your head. And at first, let the legs just go one side, other side. Notice here that we've got a twist going on. And then if it feels good to you, next time you're on one side, add in that cat yawn at the end of it. Yeah. And second side. And feel free to take that a few more times if it's enjoyable. Feel free to leave it out if you don't want to do it. Yeah. And then bring yourself back to center. Back to center. Reset the feet so they're not quite so wide, and let's just press the hands into the thighs. Just to do something symmetrical. And then I'll recommend last little thing before Shavasana. If you let go of the legs, stretch the legs long on the floor and have the backs of the heels so that they touch either the floor or the mat. And then we'll do some heel rocks. So the feet do a pointed flex, but it's not so much about the feet as it is about this reverb that happens through the whole body. So the whole body gets a little jiggle up and down, up and down. See if you can let the front of the body relax, the belly, the chest, the face. And then the movement will start to die down. Become a little less and a little less. Yeah. Until there's no more propulsion, but you might still feel some energy traveling through the body. Yeah. So from here, we're in Shavasana. I'm going to turn the lights out in a second. We'll do that now. Sometimes this switch, yeah, there we go. Sometimes it doesn't work. Yeah. And then my friends at home, I'm going to mute the sound for Shavasana, but I'll come back when it's time to come out. Take a deeper, fuller breath. If it feels good to bring in any kind of movement here, you can add that in. Maybe a little stretch, maybe another cat yawn. Whenever you're ready, let the knees bend and roll over to one side. And from there, take your time. We'll meet sitting. Feel free to put in a little seaweed action. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste, everybody. Well done, guys.